Testing, testing. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. As I know, OBS is fine. Hey. Hello everyone, my name is Xanmoas, and today we're going to be trying out Endwalker. Specifically, Reaper. Let's get up a start. And I realized the mic was away from me. Okay. You there, you're a fighting sort, yes? And by the looks of it, one of no mean skill. My employer is in desperate need of a woman of your talents. You see, he's been beset by threats of an unsavory group of thugs known as the Xanmoas. The leader demands my master's part with some of his considerable wealth. Oh well, I'll just let you... They call her Reaper, and leave the rest to your imagination. We don't intend to inquisite to their churlish demands without a fight, and a stout arm by our side will go far to ensure our survival. Your arm, perhaps? In case the opportunity to perform a good deed isn't enticement enough. Please be reminded that my master possesses considerable wealth. If you would aid us, come with haste to the Sapphire Avenue Exchange, where we make our stand against these brutes. Ooh. Nice. And here's a crowd already. Ah, you! I know why you're here, and if you mean to lay a finger on my coin purse, you'll have to pry it from my cold lifeless. Master Jiricilo. She's a friend. This adventurer has agreed to help. We'll show the Reaper what her empty intimidations are worth. Ah, I see. My apologies, madam. Tensions have been high of late, and I'm sure you can understand. For reasons that elude me, these lemurs have made my life a waking nightmare. Sight unseen, they have demanded I begin paying them for the luxury of my own life. Rumors abound of their origins. Some say they are the detritus of some barbaric nation. They flaunt our laws and threaten their betters with impunity. They're led by the deep-eyed killer who draws her scythe at the smallest slight, refuses their payment of coin, and she takes her share of your lifeblood. Instead, rubbish I say, the Reaper is not but a toothless bandit. Interesting theory you have there. Care to test it? You're the Reaper. Oh god, she's old. Oh, you're a perceptive one, aren't you? Suppose that's how you came to be in possession of so many shiny things. And what do we have here? Hurling more help while our legends remain unbalanced? You wouldn't be trying to wriggle your way out of paying us for a job well done, would you? My, how do you keep the lie straight? You didn't tell your hide muscle here what great friends we were. So great, in fact, that you trusted none other than me and mine to put the scare into your competition. A job we were happy to do. You can't find your fortune in this fair city without stepping over a few bodies on the way, after all. But as flexible as our morals are, I'm afraid without the coin to bend them, we only have one recourse, unless... Oh god, she's checking me out. Ew, no. One does wonder how you found yourself with a bodyguard of such uncommon merit. Aye, not an ounce of fear in that gaze, and not a mote of puffed up arrogance either. This last, my dear Gigi Yo, is a genuine article. She has what we in the mercenary trade call the kill instinct. How's this? For the sake of our long-standing friendship, I'll make it simple. Allow me to take this adventure off your hands, and the debt is forgiven. What? That's all? I believe this is what them in your trade call a bargain. As for your venture, it seems you've been made a free agent, but if you're still inclined to put those instincts of yours to use, come and visit our headquarters in Pearl Lane. The door's open. Looks like I'm gonna be working for an unsavory group. That's a difference. Speak with the... Alright. No, that's not too far. The boss told me you'd be along. Coming in? Here we get our own instant space. I think. Boss, the guest of honors arrived. Ah, the savior Alamigo and Doma deigns to appear before me. Aye, I heard all about you. It's hard not to in this line of work. The stories paint you as a ferocity incarnate, a force of nature a few have survived. Peace, friend. I have no desire to put the killer to the proof. Personally, I don't have a death wish. You can call me Drusilla. I am a Reaper, one of many, and the leader of this little family here. As to why I invited you into our home. It's a job I'd like you to take care of for me. Now don't you worry that virtuous heart of yours, eh? I wouldn't ask you to do so much as bend the law. This job is purely for the benefit of your fellow man. All you have to do is kill one for me. Though perhaps kill ain't the right word, see, as he's already dead. Don't look so surprised. I know you've seen the dead walk. This time you're up against a void scent. Come here to unleash a singular brand of wickedness upon the world. It won't be an easy task. The evil-driven this monster is black as the void and deep as deep. Countless souls have succumbed to its hunger. Worthy prey for one inclined to heroics, don't you think? You can't face it as you are, though. Storied as your strength may be, I need to train you in techniques that let you pierce the void and slaughter its kin. Galleon? Don't see many galleons in Uda, do you? Let alone ones as savage as this. Save your startled gasps. I'm not out of surprises yet. Hold your hand out to the crystal here. If you're made of the stuff I think you are, then you're in for a treat. Here we go. That's it. I knew you had what it takes. This be an avatar, a manifestation of your essence and the Stygian power of the voice scent on the other side. A voice scent of which, if you choose, you will bind to yourself. You gain skills unlike anything you've ever known. Skills that allowed people like me to operate in shadows and kill those that need killing since time immemorial. And your first assignment, should you walk this path, is to use the power of one voice set against another, for the betterment of this realm. Your reward will be the wisdom of countless generations of Gallian assassins. So Gallians have Reaper powers? But is sliding with my kin... At the thought of having one foot... Damn it. And if you have any concern of the sanctity of seal, then take your virtue and piss off. Wow, don't be mean about it. However, if your non-deformant ejections and you don't mind walking the knife's edge, twist life and death, then you'll have the tools you see the justice done, and done right every time. This is the choice you must make, and soon every moment one quarry stalks the land is another opportunity for them to do harm. Oh, that's catchy. Alright, let's see what she said. But if sliding with my kind makes your stomach churn, then take your indignation and piss off. If the thought of having one foot in the void twists your gut worse than Moon's blood, then you take your cowardice and piss off. Okay. She just tells me to piss off 3 times. I take it you come to a decision, am I right? There's no turning back away once you've chosen, mind you. You'll dance with death and return as its envoy, or you won't return at all. So what's a P? Not suffer this voice sent to threaten the incident. Innocent, I will dance. I'm not much of a dancer, but I want the power to see justice done. But I prefer to keep well clear of death, if that's all to say. Yes, the first one's the right one. Very good. Then let's not waste time. Take up the crystal and attest to both worlds that you walk as a reaper. Bind yourself to the void and claim the strength that the weak of heart shun. Through the avatar at your side does the void scent bring its power to bear, feeding upon the souls of the fiends you cut down in return. Not a bad arrangement, eh? But I'm sure you're tired of words. Here, the traditional weapon of our order. Let's see how it looks strapped on your back. And I unlocked Reaper. Let's check it out. Ooh, armory's increased. Okay, no crystals already equipped. Low gauge there. Oh, no. Reaper. I'll drag it. Yeah. Now to sort through these skills. Let's see. Slice. Waxing Slice. Second Wind. Shadow of Death. That there for a moment. Egg Sweep goes up here. Blood Bath goes up here. You go there. You go there. You there. There's only a free combo skill. Where's the third one? There it is. This one's single target, the other one's AoE. This is going to be a learning experience, that's for sure. I think I got it sorted for now, until I figure out if there's anything wrong. How do you find the weight of the scythe in your hands? Pleasing, I hope. Now that we have a bit more in common, it's time we became better acquainted. What's the name of our newest reaper? Victoria. Doesn't quite roll off the tongue, but so it is with all of your names. With every new one I learn, one more is forgotten. Yours can replace GGO. After our little conversation, I think it'll give us wide breath. Any road. If we're more worthwhile concerns with shifty merchants, namely getting you first well and proper in the tricks of trade, and the best way to do that is through battle. One of the families having trouble with this particularly vexing fiend, and she has sent word asking for assistance. He goes by the name of Argius, and he's stationed out near Cutter's Cry. Not much of a fighter, but he's got a keen mind for trade and can find a needle in a stack of needles, if need be. We best hurry before he ends up at the bottom of some monster's gullet. Guess it's time to try it out. Oh yeah, I should probably move that. Soul gauge should go here. Depth gauge there. And I think I'll dress for the part. So I have this grammar ready. Have this grammar ready somewhere. Oh, wait, there. I'm gonna take that off. Yeah, that will do. Now I look like a proper reaper. Sweet. Now what's the idle stance look like? Yeah, that's nice. Cool. Sweet. Okay. How to cry we go. Which is there. Kind of cry is a dungeon, isn't it? I think it is. When I'm done with this Reaper one, I'll go grab Sage. Guess it's gonna be an instance. Victoria, say hello to Angus. It's not his name. Well, it's not his real name, of course. He's as Scarlian as they come, but I say he makes a passable Highlander in this correct light. Boss, who's this? Are you sure we should be getting an outsider involved? Thank you for the discretion, Arginus, but it ain't needed. She has a personal contract with me, so consider her a mercenary in service of the family. Whatever you say in front of me, you can say in front of her. By your will, boss. A Chimera has been making these sands a living hell for anyone who dares to wander in its territory, which be us, since our trade route cuts right through it. The men I've hired to carry my goods have scared to death, and I can't blame them. None of us are fit for fighting monsters, so I sent for you. I'll see what we can do. Arginus might want to find a rock to hide behind, though. Chimeras aren't known for being the most discriminate of beasts. Time to put your new skills to good use, Victoria. You have learned all the Reaper actions and traits up to level 70. Detailed descriptions can be viewed. Okay. Time to give it a try. Ready, Ari? Let's get on with the hunt, eh? We need to draw out the Chimera with Iridon meat. Now, to customize yourself with the Reaper's tools, harvest the souls of the fallen to call forth your avatar. Okay. The best Reapers fight in tandem with the avatars, so let's see how you do. Taking a killing more quickly than I could have hoped. It'll be an easy thing to summon your avatar to your side. Let's move on fun, eh? Your avatar will help you strike fears in the hearts of your foes. You will hurt them from the flank, and Gallus will surprise them from behind. If you're getting swarmed, use guillotine to carve yourself some space. The Chimera won't be able to resist the smell of blood, making sure to soak these sands in it. In the hang of it, Gilbert will hurt them for side, switch off. Train that and Gallus make your attacks even more deadly. The guillotine like a true killer. Reap and beast the soul in one full sweep. Alright, so far so good. So I should probably move this, since these are related. And I should move this too. Use Gallows. Which one's Gallows? Yeah, that wasn't it. Oh, there it is. Grants enhanced Gibbet. That's what I like to see. Gallus will hurt them from behind. Switch off between that and Gibbet and make your attacks even more deadly. The bloodshed should have gotten the Chimera's attention. Steel yourself for a fight. I'll take it a rise. Finish this and I'll let you keep its head as a trophy. So long as the avatar is by your side, monsters like this are nothing more than easy prey. Show me you've been listening, Victoria. Give your avatar a feast to remember. Remember to position yourself. Gibbet from the side, Gallows from the rear. Simple enough, yes? It's gonna be a little tricky to learn. But I have to rely on these two. Targets Frank, targets Rhea. Should probably move Harp. Probably a bad time to do this, but rather be certain. Remember to position yourself. Give it from the side, Gallus from the rear. Simple enough, yes? Yeah, I think I got the hang of it. Piece of cake. So a bit of juggling around, to be honest. Pretty impressive work, that. I knew there was something about you, but truth be told, I didn't expect you to make such clean work of that chimera. I reckon even I might be hard-pressed to match that this way. You know talent when you see it, boss. And with that, this Cerulean will flow once more. Among his many roles, Angus is a merchant of sorts. He sells cerium at a price that makes those guild pensioners at Amaja and Sons bulk, but still turns a pretty profit. We can barely keep up with demand despite the occasional beast or two butting into our affairs. All thanks to you, boss, and our countrymen up north, of course. Here's to getting back to business as usual. Cerium isn't easy to come by, as you well know. Amajan and Sons protects their monopoly with a gilded fist, but they're yet to force the Imperial draggers up north out of the market. Now, before you go running off to the flames, let me assure you that this arrangement is entirely above board. Selling goods to Imperials is forbidden by law, but there's nary a word about them buying from them. I know your Scions like to call Guardians by all sorts of colorful names. Bastards, tyrants, invaders, and we got all those and worse. But while many a foul deed has been committed for the glory of the Empire, we ain't megalomaniacs to a man. Even amongst the purebloods, those that serve don't always do so by choice. Could we argue we all casualties of the great Machina's ambition? No small number of the Empire's troops will return home in a heartbeat if they could, but the world's being what it is. Most settle for sending their family what few coins they can afford to part with. Most Elosians wouldn't suffer a writ of color to complement their black and white view, but if you're going to fight with us, you should learn the truth of our past. Long ago, long before the Empire, our forebears lived in Xanmoas down in southern Isabad. With temperature, climes, and fertile earth the land provided, many of us were but simple farmers harvesting abundant crops. With the self-same scythe, the reapers would eventually wield. But gifts are ever to object to envy. When not tilting the fields, our ancestors were forced to defend them. Every year they yielded a few more ilms, and some 800 years ago now they were driven from Locus Amorous completely. I don't even know how to say some of these words, so forgive me for that. They fled north to the frozen region that would become Galamold. Even there, they fought tooth and nail for the scant resources of that frigid land. On the fires of hardship were the first magic tech devices forged, and with iteration upon iteration, that humble group of farmers grew into an insatiable empire. Before that murderous twist of fate, we were a dying breed, bereft not only of magic but the hope itself. With no natural advantages to speak of, our mere survival was in question. So we turned to necromancy. From harsh necessities were the reapers born. We turned our tools to weapons and struck a bargain with whispers in the dark. With the forged power, we could strike at an army's beating heart, slay their generals, and throw the rank and file into disarray. Our way is to end battles before the spark catches, to sacrifice the one of the many, to keep avarice hands away from family, friends, and lovers. And now that power belongs to you. Remember our story. Remember what drives a woman to turn to the void, and you will not be led unto deeper temptations. Our work here is done. I'll see you back at headquarters. Alright. Let's head back to headquarters. So far, Reaper is a fun class. A little tricky to learn, though. But I should be able to deal with it. Teleporting seems a little bit more instant. Put you there. Oh. Only lasts 5 seconds? Oh, hey, Victoria. Yeah, Eddie in. For your first outing, you did good. I think you earned the right to know just who this lot you've thrown yourself in is with is. You might have gathered this yourself, but the Ymairs were formed to support the Guardians who are living in exile. It ain't easy to be far from home, let alone in a place where most would sooner gut you than offer a helping hand. Oft the only place to make a living is in the shadowy corners that lie outside the watchful gaze of the law. Now, I don't expect you to brace us like brothers and sisters straight away, but know this, I do expect you to apply yourself to your job. In the meantime, I'll be working with the family to ascertain the whereabouts of our prey. I expect the scythe to be an extension of your body when next we meet. Cool. Right. Time to get Sage. Should be in Limbs of Lamensa. Yes, that's where all heal. Nah, just kidding. Usually where you get the DPS tanks. Now, where would it be? Sage a path, okay. Giant Maiden is taken in the same way with fascination. Limbs of Mensa, former disreputable haven for pirates, now one of the realm's finest city-states, boasting the peerless shipping industry and an inevitable culinary culture. Oh, how it bustles. The tomes did not lie. She's dressed up like a gladiator. Well, here I am, mother, in faraway Lozia. I will complete my mission, just you watch. In your noble name and as first of my class, I will succeed. And afterwards, perhaps I shall invite our esteemed Illumina Alice for tea at the Bismarck. Here, I'll be an envy of everyone. You know Alice? Ah! My apologies, good madam. I failed to notice you. I am Lala Jijaha. Lala Jijaha. A native of Sharlayan. By your appearance, I assume you are an adventurer. Are you perchance well-traveled in Lozia? So yeah, how very fortunate. And Victoria is your name, you say? I swear I heard that somewhere before. In any event, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. As for myself, I am an operative on the mission from Form, our nation's governing body. This being my first time in... Oh, shit. This being my first time in Lozia, I studied the best I could in preparation, but there is no substitute for a local's knowledge. Thus did I intend to hire an adventurer like yourself to serve as my escort. The mission is the pursuit and capture of fugitives, and thus it will entail some danger, but you appear to be no stranger to such. Might you be willing to assist me in this endeavor? You know Alice, eh, so... Wonderful. While I have some skill in the blade and can fend for myself, I shall be glad of your capable company. Now then, ere I divulge the particulars of my mission, we should head somewhere more private, perhaps outside the city, by the Sapphire Gates? Sapphire Gates? Yeah, I know how to say it, I just messed that up. Alright, Sapphire Gates, huh? There's already an army out here. Alright, back away, back away. I need to get through. Forgive me, it seems I have seemed overly cautious, but this mission is highly confidential. Were the wrong people to learn of it, my superiors would give me an earful. I believe we may speak freely here. So permit me to brief you on the details. As I mentioned, I am on the trail of fugitives, criminals who fled Sharlayan and came to the shores. Extremely dangerous individuals who have enhanced themselves via forbidden means which to have rendered them unsound of mind. While in a state of delirium, one of the compatriots even committed murder. He died thereafter due to the side effects of his enhancements, but 3 others remained at large and posed a threat to innocence. Their leader, a furrier male, is also alleged to have stolen valuable technological secrets. By way of reference material, I bought the soul crystal. Ah, it's hot, it's hot. What in the world? I never known soul crystals give us such heat before. Phew, it finally cooled down. What could have triggered that intense reaction? Not even the stadium did I ever witness such a thing. But maybe it was you? The technological secrets that were stolen were contained in a similar crystal. This particular sample has been loaned to me by a healing institute in Sharlayan. Tell me, Victoria, in the course of your adventures, have you ever fervently wished to save someone? But failed to do so despite your best efforts, and afterwards cursed your own powerlessness? Forgive me, my question was indelicate, but there can be no doubt. The soul crystal resonated with that aside within you. When I received the crystal, I was told that should it respond in this manner to my Elosian collaborator, I should entrust it to them. For the knowledge it imparts, the knowledge of solar optics, would surely avail me in my mission. Developed at the stadium, solar optics is a discipline which combines the wisdom of medicine, ethology, and sorcery, and those who have mastered it are called sages. Through medicine, a sage grasps the workings of the flesh, though through ethology she unlocks the secrets of the soul, and through sorcery she learns to manipulate the two. Thus trained, a sage has the ability to both strengthen and heal, yet by the same token she is also capable of the opposite, of causing harm. Not just anyone can take up with the sage's art. No, one must be prepared to hold the lives of others in one's hand. Are you willing to bear such a burden, Victoria? If you are, and would swear to use the art, well good, then I can trust this soul crystal to you. So, have you come to a decision? Then I will bear witness to your pledge. Do you swear to use Sage's art for good, and to wield its power to the best of your judgment and ability? Excellent. Chosen as you are by the crystal, I have faith that you would rise to the occasion. When those around you cry out for succor, the crystal shall be your ally, for it bears the wisdom of sages past and their hopes for the future. By hearkening to their whispers and following in their footsteps, you will come to embody those hopes, to save and change countless lives. If you worry about how you will learn the art, I can provide guidance to an extent. In any case, during my time at the stadium, I have occasion to study Xanmoas CCs. While I wasn't gifted in spellcraft, I came to favor steel. I remember the lessons and will share what I know. Together with the soul crystal, I shall provide you with a set of sage's garments. So go on, take up your crystal and don your attire, and we can begin your training. Oh, that's the one thing I forgot to do. Equip the Reaper gear. Alright, let's back away from this crowd for a bit. Not bad. A little basic. Now for the sage. Alright, No. Wait, new one. Sage, and I put that there. That's gotta be a learning thing, isn't it? It's already building up. Cool. I put you there. And there's something here that I should probably put here. Okay. Now to sort through these skills. First, I get rid of these. Put Swift Cast somewhere here for now. Deals unexpected damage. Stores the HP to targets under the effect of cooldown granted by you. Okay. Put you there. This is gonna be a bit of a sorting thing. Sooner always goes there. You go there. Put you there. Okay, do I have any other attacks or what? This looks important. God, this is gonna be a freaking sorting thing, isn't it? This is gonna be tricky. Wrong skill. I'll stick with this for now. But I'm sure the quest is going to tell me to battle something to learn the skills. Be a good idea to do it. I see the crystal has imparted to you its knowledge expected. Excellent. You are ready to embark on your training, and naturally begins with the armaments. A set of short staves known as nulifs. Nulifs trace the roots to healers of Eld, who employ naturally occurring objects of power known as Aether stones. These stones, which harbor spiritual energy, were placed around the sick and ailing to create an Adaric confluence through which the healer channeled her magics. On this primitive design, Norse gradually evolved into their present form. Although the construction is far more sophisticated, the basic principle remains unchanged. In practice, the sage wields Norliths as an extension of her mind, sending them darting through the air to weave the arcane patterns through which she unleashes advanced magics. If they sound difficult to wield, well, it's because they are. Even the stadium's most talented required years of training to become proficient. But you have an advantage that transcends talent. The crystal has chosen you. With its knowledge, the technique will come more naturally to you than others. Now, as much as I like to have you try your hand with the Norths at once, I have just received promising intelligence from command. Apparently, our fugitives have taken themselves to Illushire in the Dravanian hinterlands. Let's make our way there at once. Geez, that far? Alright, Dravanian hinterlands. I should just do this. So this is Elishire. The tales do not do this place justice. Truly impressive what the goblins and their fellow scavengers have managed to build upon the ruins of our colony. Ahem. To the task at hand, as I mentioned before, we have reason to believe that the fugitives have recently passed through this town and may even still be here. For the sake of efficiency, I suggest we split up the search. I will see to the town south if you intend to the north. Okay then. Help, somebody, please, I need help. Did you hear that? That man is in trouble. Look at me. When I'm talking to you. Stop this at once. Sage's barrier? Loifa. Too many eyes and ears. We best leave. I don't know who you are, and I don't care. Do not get in our way again. You've been warned. Wait! So I'm not going to be fighting? At least to try out the skills? Thank you. Had you not intervened when you did, I dread to think what might have become of me. Permit me to introduce myself, President of Sharlayan at your service. Truly? I'm Sharlayan too, a recent graduate of the stadium, in fact. Would you mind telling us what happened? Oh, is that Lumina should come to my rescue? Link thinks watches over his own. As to what happened, what is there to say? I was going about my business when they set upon me, without warning or provocation. I see. What is your business, if you don't mind me asking? Healing. My version of it, that is. I am a sage, you see, and I travel the realm, providing treatment riches to those who cannot afford it. A sage, besides. Speaking of which, one of your assailants, the furrier man, also wielded sage magic. Was he known to you? No, I had never so much as laid my eyes upon him before. I do have an inkling, however, as to why the villains have come here. If they use the sage art for ill, then their destination is like to be Saint Machina Arbitrarium. The Arbitrarium? What can they possibly seek in that abandoned place? Following the exorcist, the cultivation of certain plants become forbidden in Sharlayan, but that which can no longer be found in the motherland still grows freely there, among which are potent but dangerous herbs. I see, so that stands to reason, and I dare say it was for your knowledge that the creatures attacked you. You too are a sage, yet you do not appear to be Sharlayan. How did you come by your soul crystal? The good people of Business Technon have entrusted the crystal to me, and when I exhibit a strong resonance in Victoria's presence, I in turn trusted it to her. Then you were chosen to inherit. Is aught amiss, Master Verdant? No, it's nothing. I was but struck by the remarkable providence to have crossed paths with sages so far from home. Ours is a reclusive nation, after all. Our policy is to serve, not intervene. This does not sit well with me, so I left Sharlayan behind, as the great Master Ulixox once did. And though I may never dare equate myself to him, I too believe it was my duty to elevate suffering in the world. So that's what brought you to Erosia. You are a noble soul, Master Ferdinand, and I commend your resolve. Well, I must return to the road. I thank you again for coming to my aid. Till next we meet, let us both endeavor to seek out new knowledge and possibilities for the betterment of mankind. Let's head to Saint Machina's Arbitrarium at once. Given what we know of the futurists, I had considered that they might be after knowledge sealed in the Great Gabu Library, but Master Ferdinand presents a compelling theory. And for I know of a proven theory of my own, our quarry must have enhanced them with sage magic. I suspected as much given what they stole, but the latest actions earlier leave little room for doubt. Not that it gives us any greater insight into who they are or their ultimate goal. Regardless, to use the sage's soul crystal for ill is unforgivable, and I will not rest until these criminals have been brought to justice. Damn it. But right, to the arbitrarium. Our mission aside, I dare say it would be an ideal place for your training. Alright. I think I know where that is. Yeah, it might be a pain learning these skills. You got the basic healing, and then you get the ones that cost something. I should actually put that maybe here. That costs an Agisil. Put you there. Put you there. Anything else? Oh, worth a shot. What a score! So this is Saint Mockenham's arbitrarium from the illustrations. I did not think it would be so immense. It may interest you to know that this place holds special meaning to sages. From ancient strains to crossbred creations, myriad medical plants have been cultivated within its halls. Alas, in the wake of the Exodus 15 years ago, this once magnificent institution has fallen into ruin. Still, there is a certain charm in seeing nature reassert its dominion. Why, it must be a veritable merengue of wildlife within. I should like to spend a day studying them, field guide in hand. Forgive me. This isn't a real field trip, but a mission. Our objective is to find the fugitives, and failing that, clues that will lead us to them. Please see your preparations. A spot of practice with your spells would not go astray, and then we shall venture in. If you're ready, well then let us venture forth. Alright. Our assumption is correct. The fugitives have come and may still be here. Keep your eyes peeled and your guard up. These halls are home to dangerous creatures. I will draw their attention that you may focus on applying your techniques. So, shall we practice some article fundamentals? To begin with, cast Cardia on me. This spell will establish a magical link between us. The residential ether of your attacks will be channeled onto me, healing my wounds as you deal damage to our foes. Okay, so it's useful to put on tanks. Yes, just so. Let us continue on. Sensible fiend ahead. I believe this calls for barrier. This time, augment your spells using Illicica, then cast Illicican Diagnosis on me. This will bestow a barrier onto me that provides both protection and healing. Good lord. So this one. And this one. Excellent. Now we may proceed with confidence. Yeah, not bad. Nothing to note here. Let us head deeper into the arbitrarium. Rex barrier. Restores HP to targets. Please ahead. Please watch my back. Oh god. Wasn't expecting it to be that weak. You need to work on your defenses, girl. Impressive. To see how well you've wieled your Norse, one would not think of you as novice. God, my wording needs work. Let's go, Lala Jinha. I can't say that name properly. Lala Jinjala. Or if the L is silent. Lala Jinja. Nothing's here, but what might this be? Some manner of plant seems to have been harvested here. I can't identify it by the remaining parts, however. There may be other clues nearby. We should investigate further. Series of tiny bubbles break the water's surface at regular intervals. Some manner of creature hiding under the lily pad, perhaps. Ah, we're gonna be ambushed. An impression on the edge of the lily pad suggests someone knelt here, perhaps to draw water. What would the same plan taken? What could it possibly be? Resting at the bottom of the pool is an animal carcass overgrown with plant life. Perhaps it fell in while foraging for food. Fine scorch marks are an evidence of the leafage, reminiscent of those left by sage magics. Traces of ice. Someone recently fought here. A proficient wielder of magic. Yeah, which means we're going to be ambushed. The features may be close. Be on your guard. No problem. But you should be on your guard. You can only do so much with barriers. There they are. Hello, Gundam Wing. Agents, in the name of the form, I demand you surrender yourself at once. All the weapons that bear against us. No matter, I warned you once and I won't warn you again. Oh great, a monk and a black mage. This won't be well. Farewell. I got to stand back. No, wait, I got to stand back. Very well. This will go poorly for you if you resist. Oh, this will go poorly for you if you resist. Chi bomb. Oh crap. Let's finish this quickly. Oh crap. Oh, the love of Advocate Victoria. Oh god. And so that's enough. You mustn't lose your temper. God damn it, if it wasn't for that sage. He'll deal with you instead. We'll see about that. And there'll be nothing left for you but ash. Oh, right. The enhancement is giving them such power? Let's get another way. We must do Lovia first. Well, of course, that's what I was trying to do at the start. Return the favor and take care of the sage. Finish it. Understood. Stand back. No, you don't. Damn you. I gotta be very close range to use it. That's gonna take some getting used to. Oh, no, you don't. Well. Ophelia, no. Oh, but lay down your arms and I promise you won't come to further harm. Well, how about us? Gotcha. That was actually pretty hard. Even for a starting mission, god. Ophelia, we don't have time for this. You held your own against the Enhanced. Aye, that's enough sport for now. Mission takes precedence. I found it, not again! Oh, come on, that's cheating. Only I can use return. Ah, they dropped a sack. What's this? The pouch they dropped contained a plant. What they came for, I shouldn't doubt. There's a matter of her, but none I've seen in the course of my studies. And as I made my way out, I stumbled upon what appears to be a diary by the entrance, though much of its contents are magically obscured. Obfuscated. I could make out some optical terms, so we may assume it belonged to a sage. As we continue our pursuit, I will work on lifting enchantment. When you have a moment, please feel free to pursue the contents in Shire. On that note, let us head back to the settlement. I dispatched the plant to Sharlayan for identification. When we learn what it is, I believe we'll gain insight into the villain's objective. Now tell me, Victoria, have you been practicing with the Norse while I wasn't looking? I asked because, even with the Corso's knowledge, you demonstrated remarkable proficiency. Regardless, displaying you have a gift for the art. The sages whose memories reside in the crystal must be beaming with pride. I don't know about that, I seem to got lucky. Well, sometimes I can't help but wonder. If the sage's art was created for the betterment of mankind, why then does it incorporate techniques which fricked harm and the visitors? What could have compelled them to spun our homeland described policy as Master Louislaw and Master Valadant have? But I means to no avail. It will be a while before we hear back regarding the plant. Until we do, please take the opportunity to continue honing your skills. As you go about your training, remember to heed the voices within your soul crystal. Do so, and the predecessors will surely grant you the wisdom to protect those you hold dear. Okay, so I can read a diary. A young child was brought in today. So very young to be suffering so. But if anyone can save her, the sages of Isis Technodon will save her, we will. Though it took many days and repeated treatments, we have managed to stabilize our most recent patient. We adapted the Urkrasan spell as my clever husband proposed, and it worked wonders. His brilliance truly belies his youth. Despite being 50 years my junior, he has already achieved so much. Okay. Okay, not bad. Okay, not bad. Alright. Well, that's the 2 jobs I got. So, Kyo would be here. Sage would be here. Reaper would be here. Alright. What to do next? I wonder. Any skills? Any changing here? No? Okay. Now the problem is you need level 71 to do Sandor. So, yeah. I think what I'll do is, might actually start the story. So I imagine it's going to be very busy there. Very, very, very busy. Want to make some last minute checks. I also noticed my HP is now 43,000. It used to be 100,000. Damn those nerfs. Oh well. Alright, well, I guess I'll go to the story then. Mortona, huh? Hello, guys. Been a long time. Next ship to sail. Dora, do you have some time to talk? I would like to gather everyone in Dawn's Respite and together assess the situation in which we find ourselves. Let's take stock of the facts, shall we? The crisis at hand began with the sudden appearance of ominous towers in the multitude of locations throughout the world. We have since learned that said structures were brought into the being by an organization known as the Tephiroid. The Tephiroid stated purpose is to recreate the final days of eons past, an apocalyptic event that will result in the destruction of all we hold dear. Already these towers have been the cause of untold suffering. Countless innocents kidnapped and imprisoned, their faith prevented for primal summonings. And unless we find a way to deal with the corruptive aura surrounding the spires, we can't even get close enough to rescue anyone. Those shielded with the blessing of light seem able to assist being tempered at least. But after what happened with Arvinvard and Fedora, we need to be very, very careful about how we proceed. Yet while these threats are close to home, a paramount concern, we mustn't lose sight of the situation in Garmold. As you know, the Tephiroid are under the leadership of Daniel and one other delightful fellow, Xenos Van Calvis, the Crown Prince and our dear friend. The date he's reclaimed his old body, murdered Emperor Ferris, and plunged Garmold into an even deeper pit of chaos. The capital has always seen the worst of it for the while there. It saw the bloodiest fighting in the War of Secession, but that has since changed and in troubling ways. Oh god. During our reconnaissance, the air was not once rent by the barking of cannons or the cities of discord. This was an eerie fog of silence which did blanket that ruined city. These inhabitants appeared to have been tempered, and with nary a word spoken did they labor to transform the palace into a soaring Ephedice born of nightmares. If they were indeed made falls, it seems safe to assume that these events too were orchestrated by the Tephiroid. An army of primals is awful enough, but in light of recent developments, I fear it is only the prelude of an even greater catastrophe. We need to devise a means to counter this threat, and quickly before our allies are overwhelmed. We'll find a way to Sharlayan, I'm sure of it. Master Winchant's comments regarding the final days were curious to say the least. The form knows more than it's letting on. Sorry to interrupt. We just received word from Mistress Creel. She says that arrangements for your visit have been finalized. You're to head to Linton Mensa and board the next ship bound to Sharlayan. And on arrival, present yourselves as associates of the students of Bosada. Come to assist with the order's restoration. The arrangements may be settled, but what are your thoughts? They must race to the prospect of returning home after so long. I am eager to see it, of course. Of course. Ahem. We should set off at once. Then I'll accompany you to the docks. You need at least one person there to rave and cry and wish you a safe journey. Immenso again. Always important to drink water, especially when you're trying to sound out the characters. Ugh. Yeah, this wasn't in there before, was it? And I can't even see who I'm meant to talk to. Well, a great reason to bring you to Sharlayan. Not much to be done about it, I suppose, but I would like to give you the grand tour under happier circumstances. Though part of me looks forward to returning home, I've not forgotten that my father stripped us of our privileges of our family name. Hope it doesn't cause trouble with the officials upon our arrival. I might have lived in Master Matoya's cave for a good part of my life, but even for me, the thought of returning to Sharlayan is quite exciting. I can hardly imagine how it is for others who live most of their lives there. Contrary to what you might think, this will be like going home for me as well. I have learned how to survive in Linton Mensa, but it was in Sharlayan that I was taught quite relentlessly, I might add, the skills to properly live. I shudder to think what manner of truth awaits of us beyond the indigo deep. Still more do I dread the prospect of discussions long overdue. Sea travel can be tedious, but I don't mind it. It's a rare experience for most Ishgadians. I never thought the day would come where I'd be sailing home again. It always seems so very far away. Apparently the quest is underneath all these people. Yeah, but I know a shortcut. Everyone's here, which is good because I already paid for your passage, and the fee is non-refundable. The ship to Sharlayan should be pulling into port soon, so please follow me and have all your luggage close at hands. There goes my water. Please let this part be voice acted. In fact, if it is, I'll put this on.
They've almost finished loading our cargo. We should be ready to depart right on schedule. or so I'm told.
Excellent. 'Tis nice to have a smooth beginning to one's journey, at the very least.
It's funny. Master Louis Soir came here on a ship very much like this one. And now, years later, the street urchin he befriended that day is bound for his mentor's homeland. With his mentor's grandchildren, no less.
Yes, Father Thancred.
Aye. 'Tis upon reflection that every twist of time's river and fate's whims are brought into sharp relief. Thou hast matured much in the intervening years. Wert thou not caught attempting to relieve Master Louis Soir of his purse scant moments after he made landfall upon this dock?
Oh, really? Now that's a tale I'd like to hear.
Will this be your first visit to Sharlayan, Sir Estinian? Sir Estinian?
Are we strangers newly met? Why this stiff formality?
I, merely meant it as a professional courtesy, since we are now colleagues in an official sense.
I'd rather you dispense with the sirs, especially in private company. Or I'll be forced to respond in kind, little Lord Alphino.
You've made your point, Estinian. Painfully well.
Yeah.
Better.
Are you all right, Tataru? You seem positively distraught.
Distraught? Me? Don't be silly. I think it's lovely that they get to see their homeland. It's just, we're trying to thwart the schemes of an army hell-bent on destroying the world. And, once again, I have to stay behind and worry that this is the last time I'll get to see my friends.
I'll bring them back safe and sound upon. There's no sense worrying about the things we're powerless to change. I'll go with that one.
Well, that's hardly comforting.
Ah, good. You're still here.
Hori! Coulternay! What brings you all this way?
We're to assist the Maelstrom and the Kobolds with a lunar primal operation, so we thought we'd see you off before heading to the tower. Flamine and the others wish you all a safe journey, and promise that they'll look after things here until you return. We will too, of course. Aye, we your fellow Scions of the Seventh Dawn will do our part to ensure the end of the world won't happen on our watch.
We're set to sail! All aboard for Sharlayan!
It's time.
Yes, it is. Finally.
Then we must delay no longer. We will contact you the moment we learn aught of value. Wish us luck.
Have a safe journey, and please, please, be careful.
And so you venture forth unto the unknown. A fate beyond the horizon that cannot be divined. A future undefined and in flux. In uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice. That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end. Treasure every moment, every step of your descent. And there, in the depths where souls and stars rest, find your truth.
The water?
Here. Feel. Think.
The day has barely dawned, my fellow earlier riser. Though we're hardly alone in that. Envious of those still sleeping soundly, no doubt. Called out to you, you say? I've heard nothing myself. In any case, I dare say the sea air will do you good. Why not join the others on deck? Sharlayan should be coming into view at any moment.
Thank you, Ghost. Huh. I was kidding about the ghost.
My voice yet reaches you. I am glad. Hear, feel, think. And thus do we meet face to face at last, my warrior of light, guided by the crystal.
Hello, Hydolan. Hydolan.
You have visited the first. You have every right to say that. You have gained an understanding of what I truly am, what Hydolan has always been, a primal, Zodiac was created to forestall the apocalypse which threatened the ancient world, and I was brought forth to bind him. Yet 7 times now, those who would orchestrate a return to that bygone era have rejoined a shard to the god I had sundered. The greater his strength grows, the swifter does mine own diminish. The power to draw your mind into the rift betwixt is no longer mine to wield. Yet though it taxes me sorely, I dare not leave these words unsaid. Even bereft of my guidance, you and your companions have accepted the burden of this star's troubled past. A conjunction has begun to form, an intertwining of your time and mine. Wheels shudder and turn. Conflict looms, monumental, which will decide the fate of this world and all life upon it. When you truly understand what is at stake, and your journey has prepared you to surmount the insurmountable, then shall I honor the promise made in another time, another age.
Cast your peepers to the fore, folks! Sharlayan's just over yonder.
I will not keep you further. Your traveler's heart must yearn to behold this unfamiliar land. We shall meet again, and soon.
Yes, we shall. Awake, sweetie heads.
Oh, what a fine morning. Oh, still a bit stiff though.
And a good morning to you too. Taking a look at the island already?
Then let's go. Let's go. Might still be room in the prow if we're lucky.
Ah, the sleepers have arisen. There she is. Good old Sharlayan.
Oh, I see it.
Home. Home at last. Well, maybe not in Father's eyes, but we'll manage on our own, if we must.
You do know you're not alone in this, don't you?
Indeed, 'tis as Sir Estinian said. Forget not the comrades who boarded this ship at your side, I prithee.
Thank you, my friends. We are ever grateful for your steadfast support.
Upon arrival, we will be disembarking into the heart of Sharlayan proper. There is no greater concentration of wisdom in all the world. I am confident that somewhere within that center of knowledge and learning, we will find the answers we seek.
Endwalker, yes.
Sharlayan, the solitary island nation of the northern seas.
Hello, Emmett.
Where under the watchful gaze of Thaliak, patron deity of scholars, academics hoard all manner of knowledge and secrets. Once, they deigned to accept foreign students into a distant colony maintained in the Dravanian hinterlands. How swiftly they abandoned it once the first Garlean boot set hostile foot on Alamegan soil. So averse to the prosecution of war, these men of wisdom, your would-be allies.
I thought they'd never let us off the ship. What's next then? Entry applications?
Hopefully they find no cause to deny us.
Hasn't Sharlayan all but severed relations with foreign powers? Those of us without direct ties, myself included, may be refused outright.
'Tis true that, as a nation, Sharlayan only forms trade agreements with a select few neutral countries. But from a practical standpoint, an island cannot afford to be overly strict with its borders, especially not if that island's people are wholly devoted to the accumulation of knowledge. If one submits the proper paperwork, with satisfactory evidence of identity and intent, then foreigners may be granted entry.
May.
Quite. So let us be absolutely clear on these points before we proceed. The immigration officer will ask for your affiliation and your purpose of visit. Considering Sharlayan's views on intervention, I strongly suggest we avoid any mention of the Scions. Kral has laid the groundwork for us to act as associates of the students of Baldessian, and our ostensible reason for being here is to aid in their order's restoration. Grahatir, it might expedite our progress should an actual student be seen at the head of our little group. Would you mind leading the way?
Of course. The immigration officers were this way, as I recall. Shall we?
Just one long cutscene.
We've just arrived and are eager to make our way into the city. Would you be so kind as to process our entry applications?
Certainly. I see by your mark you are an Archon.
I am. Grahatir of the Students of Baldessian at your service. I was assigned to an Eorzean survey team, but have returned to assist with the reformation of my order. My associates here will provide additional support.
Very good. I have paperwork detailing your group and its scheduled arrival for today. And it seems some few of your companions are also Archons. If you'll step forward, we can process those applications first.
Ishtola rule.
See how it glows. That list is etherically linked with a citizen registry kept in the main repository.
I've confirmed your status as Archons and amended your travel records accordingly. Welcome home. Now, who do we have here?
Alphino Leveilleur.
And Alize Leveilleur.
Uh-oh.
Your applications have also been approved. Having said that, the streets are abuzz with talk of how House Leveilleur's lord disowned his young progeny. And while such personal circumstances constitute no reason to deny you entry, I urge you to avoid exacerbating your present situation. Times are quite troubled enough already.
We shall keep that in mind.
These last two are not Sharlayan natives, but you will find their credentials are in order. An application was made in advance.
Name and occupation?
Guess I'll go by adventure or by trade.
An adventurer. Well, I suppose that is considered a valid calling in your native Eorzea, and it does indeed match the profile provided. You may enter. And you, sir?
Estinian Valino, formerly of the Order of the Knights Dragoon in Ishgard.
Formally, at least. And what, pray tell, is your profession now?
What?
If you'll allow me.
Hello, Creel.
My associate is a mercenary, hired for his strength at arms. Surely you are aware of the dangers we often face on our forays into the wilderness.
Mistress Baldessian, if you insist on sponsoring his entry, then so be it. But while I appreciate that desperate times call for desperate measures, I find your choice of company concerning. Be advised that even a single misstep may have severe repercussions for your organization.
No, we're not gonna cause trouble.
I have every confidence in my chosen company, dear and trusted comrades that they are. But I thank you for your concern.
Let's go, homies.
Croyle, it is good to see you.
Cryo. Keep saying Crilly.
Likewise. Long voyage notwithstanding, you will seem none the worse for wear. There is much to discuss, but this is hardly the place. Let's be on our way, shall we? Oh! Welcome, friends, to Sharlayan.
Oops.
As your mercenary, I should hope my welcome includes a generous salary.
Well, I had to say something, Sir Taciturn.
Here's an army of people showing up. There's something I should probably do, and it's increase the volume of the game. I should do. about as awkward as suspected. Still, we're here now, and that's all that matters. I'm fine, honestly. Better to be raged through with a stern warning than be denied entry after all. I'm glad I spotted your ship coming into port. The officers are born bureaucrats and sticklers for details. In any case, you may relax to take a moment to get your land legs back. And they're off. I thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. But this is Victoria and Ernestine's first time in Sharlayan, and for the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. You must have places you wish to visit and people you're dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so that you may all have sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. Once you're settled in, we can reconvene at the Sharlayan Annex. How does that sound? This is a fine suggestion. We may not be welcome at the Levivar estate as such, but I should like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. Livia, that's it. I am equally untethered, as it were. There is no particular place that my kin call home. Still, I wouldn't pass up the opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city. Likewise, a quick tour of the old haunts might even yield some useful gossip. The annex was west of the Aetheryte Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there anon. Yes, we'll see you there. I too have places I would be remiss if in not visiting forthwith. Bide I leave. What of you, Estinian? My service as a guide are yours for asking. That won't be necessary until we reconvene. I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. But I could... Oh. Oh, would you like to join us then? You've been gone for quite a while, and this is the perfect way to refresh those dusty old memories of yours. Oh, of course, if you would have me. Come, Victoria, shall we in a race? Cool. People are piling up like crazy. After you, my friend, I am more than content to follow your lead. Oh, that's cool. Escort without the escort. Some people will get that. Oh, so then let us be on our way. Oh, so then let us be on our way. Our first stop, amusingly enough, would be the last stand. It's a cafe on the west side of the harbor. Who is also accompanying you? Lead your two companions to the last stand and speak with Query at the designated location. While you're accompanied, you may encounter conversation points along the way which offer additional topic of discussion. Enter the glowing area and speak with the quest companions to initiate these bonus conversations. Enjoy exploring your surroundings there. Oh my god, that's so JRPG right there. Especially if you played games like Octopath Traveler. That's so cool. Now that is a sight one could highly forget. The great statue of Falak. As a student of Boulderson, forget it. I was usually quartered on the Isles of Fowl, but I would gaze upon the scholar's wise features every time I returned by ship to the city. This path leading out towards the sea is known as the Falak Stoa. so named after the statue of the scholar, which stands at its end. As you know, the Sharlayan people prize the accumulation of wisdom above all else. Thus, while Falak was chosen as a patron deity, it was more a matter of pragmatism than belief, an alignment of principles, as it were. We may have honored him with a rather impressive sculpture, yes, but our faith is not so restricted as that of, say, the Ishgadians. Individual Sharyans can and do worship the divinities of their choosing. Alright. More conversation points. And there's no... Oh, shit. I should go get that. One of the new things about... No, not one of the new... One of the old things about visiting cities is that you have to attune to these. And here we are, the last stand. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research into nutrition and food preparation is quite extensive, this average Sharlayan tends to regard seasoning and flavor with a certain indifference. How can I put it? The food is bland. It's encapsulated by an infamous Archon loaf. The prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first and taste a distant second. There was one pupil in the stadium who, however, who could stomach the school's inspired meals no longer, so he quit his lessons and poured all his savings into building a proper eatery. And so the last stand came to be, as the name implies, the sole dedicated outpost of fine dining in Sharlayan, the one and only bastion of the culinary arts in the Isle of otherwise medical fare. I seem to recall that burger was being held as one of the most impressive items on the menu, not that I've had the pleasure of eating one myself. Because you were a typical Sharlayan when it came to cheap and convenient, Raha, but surely Tataru has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. We shall stop in when time permits and sample the cafe's delights. Shall we press on? The stairs to the side of the cafe will take us up to the Ifrite Plaza. This is so cool, having escorts without using beckon. Because that was annoying. Now they just travel with you, which is the coolest thing they can do in this game. Unusual shape, isn't it? I wouldn't know. I can't zoom the camera back. Yeah, I guess it is a little unusual. I'll show you, however, that it's perfectly functioning Ifrite. Remember to attune yourself before we move on. Now, being the diligent tour guide that I am, I should make mention of the conference, a research facility located on this very plaza. It's much varied discoveries are the reason Sharlayan stands at the forefront of teleportation technology. In deciphering the underlying principles of Aragon Ifrites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct what was essentially a lost art. Now if we go to the next destination, our path leads northeast to the Agora, Sharlayan's largest marketplace. Okay, but first things first, I'm gonna get that one. This is more convenient that way. Yeah, right here, just threw it there. Alright, where is it? Ah, there. Yeah, that's just hidden. Do you mind if I browse the shelves for a moment? There might be some hidden gems I've yet to read. Only a moment, how optimistic. Feel free to browse all you like, but we won't wait around for you. Perhaps I'll return here later then. These little open-air bookstores are so uniquely Sharlayan. I always thought them a common sight until I visited the other nations. Welcome to the Agora, where you can find wares made in Sharlayan, as well as a wide selection of imported goods. They also used to sell questionable prototypes from various research institutions, but I think the practice has thankfully died out for the most part. Otherwise, I can think no better place to stock up on your next big adventure. Am I overselling it? On a more serious note, the next stop on our tour is one which has particularly relevance to our ultimate purpose here. Let's head back to the Ifrit Plaza, follow the path north, then climb the stairs up to the imposing building at the very top. Okay. This way then. These little decorative features are typical of Sharlayan architecture. Aside from the research ring, our headquarters on the Isle of Far were rather simple and rustic by comparison. This is the Nymphomum, an area dedicated to the blessings of water. For Sharlayans, water represents more than life-sustaining liquid. It is a reminder of the great flood which precipitated the birth of our nation, as well as the symbol of knowledge which flows from Valak's divine ear. This is the reason you see an abundance of fountains throughout the city, and a prosperity of utilizing water as a decorative feature in our architecture. Okay, still further up. Let's go, comrades. Grand section before you is the Rostra. The name refers to the original public platform elected here, upon which a form of elected representatives would deliver orientations and debate policy. Although the stage has since evolved into council chambers, the nature of the forum and the duties of its members remain largely unchanged. Am I boring you, Raha? You seem awfully distracted. My apologies. From here, one can see the entire city spread out below. The vista put in my mind of my arrival in the first. Those who are gathered at the Crystal Tower asked me how they might go about building a new home. Naturally, my answers were all inspired by my knowledge of the finest settlement I can think of, the great city of Sharlayan. And bit by bit, those few buildings grew into a town, a community, a Crystalium. I can almost see it echoes. I see. Feel free to come up here whenever you wish. I don't think the councillors will object you simply join the few. Such memories should be treasured. Well, now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes with the fitting named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. But first, Ifrit. Yeah, these two. We arrive at Journey's End. History tells us that this was where those who put ashore with Archon... How do I say that? Nuanwef built their first homes. In the present day, it serves as a residential district for the most part, important individuals and the older Sharlayan families. You see that one mansion is clearly larger than its neighbors. The estate belonged to our friends of House Levenor. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance for the time being. And with that, we bring our little Sharlayan tour to the close. I hope this has proven to be an entertaining and enlightening experience. Now shall we head directly to the Older Sun Annex? You remember the way, don't you, We think. We head down towards the harbor, cross the bridge to our right, then follow the path below the FFXIV Plaza. Correct. After you, Victoria. Okay, but first things first, I'm getting these Aetherites. Always important to get Aetherites. Makes traveling easier. Yeah, all things considered, the city's not that bad looking. There's another optional area. Optional dialogue, I should say. Right, we cross the bridge here as I recall. Stick to the path and be careful not to end up back in the FFXIV Plaza. Sharlayan is full of educational and research institutions, but there are still professors who prefer to establish their own private practices. Not that I've attended the exclusive schools they run in these residents. Perhaps the trainers could tell you more about them. Yeah, a bit chilly. Something tells me I can't really warp. Should have read that thing properly. There's one more there. As a joyous look on Raha's face has undoubtedly informed you, this is the Sharlayan Annex. If you continue up the hill, you'll arrive at the doorstep of the phenomenon. But I think we explored enough for one day. We can take you there another time. Inside with you then. This is gonna be my inn. I'm back and I brought Victoria and Raha with me. Ah, you were right about the ship. Then, hello Raha, it's nice to see you again. I can't tell if that's a boy or a girl. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Victoria. I heard many a tale of your exploits. Ojika Tessica, it's been an age. Allow me to introduce Ojika Tessujika, Administration Officer of the Students of Baldasan. He oversees day-to-day businesses of the Annex. You may recall meeting his cousin Ejika. Oh yes, Eureka. I read the initial reports. Quite a shock to hear what become of the Isle. Do take care if you have an opportunity to rejoin the expedition. This place is like a second home for the students. The Isles of Far served as the main headquarters, of course, but we often had occasion to visit Sharlayan. Whether to make use of the city's research facilities, attend conferences, or procure supplies from distant shores. And the annex here was built to provide lodgings for our members while we engaged in such activities. Ever since our former headquarters, along with the Isle itself, finished, the annex has served as the base of operation. And yet it feels so empty, with so many lost to us. Our organization is a shell of its former self. The day will come we will see the students rise again. But first, we must ensure that the Tefloi flow. Through that door on the left, there is the main hall where we can discuss our options moving forward. Once everyone arrives, that is, you'll probably have time to rest before our discussions begin in earnest. I had private quarters prepared for you and the Arderon. Please feel free to make yourself at home. Ah, the nap rooms, perfect for an afternoon doze. The nap rooms? Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. The chambers are quite well appointed, far more than some cheap roadside inn, you may be assured. It's simply that we were often so busy with research or exhausted from journeys upon the road that we would slip into the Ardron and just to steal a few winks. And thus they became known amongst the students as nap rooms, even if many such naps might last well into the following morning. Say the word and I'll be happy to show you 2 chambers. Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you all in the main hall. Guess I'll check out the inn room. Wow, this is very cramped. And the window is just down here. You can walk through it. Nice posters though. I guess it's time to check out this meeting. Hey, this one's more open. What the hell? Well, got boxes and that in it. Feeling refreshed and alert? Our colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us. It's gonna be voiced. Please let it be voiced.
Pray forgive me. I was delayed.
It's fine, Urianger. We're all here now.
Let's get down to business then, shall we? Come what may, we must prevent the Telophoroi's plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see 2 paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal. The first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Sharlayan, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Forum. As most of you know, the 99 members of the Forum are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Sharlayan focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it. And at the other extreme, we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galef was one such member, as was Archon Louisois. Yet despite our diverse factions and philosophies, the recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous. Even more concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
Those political assholes.
Fortuno's refusal in Gridania had those same undertones. 'Twas as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, it simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
A mystery indeed, and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it. As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Baldessian. Our organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over. Mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth. Compared to our more isolationist Sharlayan colleagues, we have strong connections overseas, namely with scholars and academics who share our passion for the unknown. The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nadana, an alchemist residing in distant Thavnair. Her missive describes the sudden appearance of a tower, and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal. In response to this threat, the satrap of Rads at Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
The artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition, one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts. 'Tis possible, nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or her Far Eastern allies.
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
Assuming we divide our forces to pursue both of Claire's lines of inquiry, then having you join the group heading to Thavnair would seem the obvious choice. But the investigation in Sharlayan is of vital importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnairian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
Yes, it is quite the quandary. Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts. You are indeed our champion. As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us next decide how everyone else might best be assigned. As for myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Sharlayan. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
And thereby gain access to a greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Allow me to offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field of research.
Alice and I would also like to help, if you would have us.
Anything to understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking. Of course, the more the merrier.
Right. The rest of us will make the journey to Thavnair. Thoughts? Objections?
I passed through Thavnair on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nadana's request. Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
You know, it's kind of funny. Oh, at the start of every expansion, they always have this two-way path you have to do. Okay, cool. I think I'm gonna call it here for now and continue tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and if you like the stream, please follow, and till next time, folks. See ya.